Good morning. Welcome to the Tash and Bex Flex.
Hello.
We hope we're all doing well and thriving.
It's very hot, isn't it? It's a beautiful day.
It's beautiful, but it is absolutely scorching. We were going to do this in the garden, weren't we? But we decided it was too
hot.
hot.
It's just been like waxy
sweating
and melting.
Anyway, welcome whichever platform you're watching us on. DIA, Truth Pills, YouTube, or even BitChute.
Yes.
So today we got some information, didn't we, Tash? I'm going to let you start because one of our lovely people
send some info.
We really do appreciate when people do send us little gems of info, don't we, Tash?
Yes, and we always have to dig into it, don't we?
We do.
So basically, this person has a friend who is some kind of engineer, and he's been working in the West Country.
Mm-hmm.
And he claims that they're testing a pill, a tablet, or a implant, maybe. I'm not sure of the exact correct terminology, that goes into a cow. And this basically technology can then do everything from, well, health. Let's just say health at the minute. We'll go into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it can basically track the health. And apparently it's all transmitted via these streetlights, these new LED streetlights.
Yeah.
The ones that they were putting in
the
the last 2
flat
years.
ones, they were putting loads of them in when we were in hard lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he also said, though, that there are also 3 receivers built within these streetlights that none of the engineers were aware as to
why they're there and what they're for. So
yeah.
there's 3 receivers that at the moment nobody who's fitting them understands what they're quite
and
for.
there's obviously one there that's obviously connects to this.
To the cows.
To the cows, or this microchip or whatever.
Yeah.
So he said the company was called LoRaWAN.
Yeah. So that's capital L-O, capital R-A, capital W-A-N. So they create a specific specification, low power, wide area networking protocol designed to wirelessly connect battery operated things to the internet in regional, national and local networks, and it targets key Internet of Thing requirements. So the Internet of Things is abbreviated into IoT.
So that means it's used regularly then,
yes.
doesn't it? If it's So what is Internet of Things? I mean, what does that mean?
Well, this is one of the new speak things, isn't it?
Yes.
The Internet of Things.
But what a ridiculous...
It makes everything into a thing. Cows are not things, they're animals.
But it is a really
It's horrible.
It's not an intelligent wording either, is it?
But when I looked at their website anyway, their language is really disturbing. Like, instead of saying housing estate, it said residential colonies.
Colonies, yes, I read
Why
that,
would you call it colony? It was all very, very dark and horrible. But what they produce is bi-directional communication, end-to-end security, mobility, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a minute, and localization of services. So that's their kind of blurb on their website. But the reality of that is that they're obviously testing this out in the cows, and it's using GPS, isn't it, Tash? LoRaWAN also specialise in this is all under LoRaWAN's services: smart city street lighting, streetlight systems, streetlight controllers, and software.
So they're doing a whole
the whole
revamp of how street lamps are used, and obviously what were they initially for? So we could see in the dark.
and this site does go on about various things it can do with the light, but obviously that's...
So they say the unique advantages of these streetlights is low energy, and it saves up to 60% of electricity. That's one of the things they say. They say it starts, these savings will start immediately, and it's live. Oh God, it's horrible. So it's live monitoring and operation of the entire streets and colonies, it's saying here.
Colonies again.
Yeah,
colonies.
That weird word. And then, sorry, I've got to screenshot it. And then it also says, so they have auto dimmers with ambient light sensors, moonlight detection, energy saving system. So they're saying when there's a big full moon, they'll be dulled even less. And then a sensor-based dim control to detect pedestrians and vehicles passing by.
So that's your...
So that means that again, it's how much you're being tracked, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then there's an evening, early morning energy saving system. And then there's sensors to detect ground leakage. I mean, what exactly does that mean? That's really bizarre, isn't it?
There's a lot of quite odd language on their website,
Very strange
I think.
language, yeah.
But we know, don't we, Tash? Shall I do that bit now.
So, but with I don't know if you've read, but with these streetlights, are they? Have you sort of seen videos and stuff that they're 5G as well?
Yes.
So they're basically
yeah.
a network of small 5G antennas, which are basically
And
outside.
we're just really confirming that that's what they are and who the company is behind that. But, I mean, we've always known that these sort of tracking things and monitoring things, we've always thought that's in the masts.
Yes.
And in the little antenna and that. But actually, this chap that's contacted you has confirmed the streetlights are huge.
Yeah.
In that, because they're, how far apart are they up the road? I don't know. I can't remember what it is.
As you drive to?
Well, as you're driving along the road, you drive past
a few hundred metres?
Yeah, a few hundred metres. So it's that really intense monitoring where you literally, I couldn't walk from my house to the laundrette without them knowing, because I passed 3 streetlights on the way down, and that's just at the end of my road. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, and they're very strange looking, aren't they?
Oh, they're horrible.
Because I remember seeing a video at the beginning of lockdown where an engineer took one apart.
He took one apart, yeah.
And he spoke about the 3 extra
he did.
bits, didn't he?
Yeah.
He said there were 3 bits that he couldn't understand what they were there for.
So the engineers are aware that they're fitting this stuff, and that it's obviously doing more than they're allowed to know.
Yes, they're obviously got some kind of disclaimer or something.
Yeah. So you had a little dig, didn't you, Tash? And we discovered that they've already rolled this out in Andalusia in Spain.
But I think that was using not the internal ones. I think that was all the outside.
So they had maybe a clip on the ear tracker thing on the ear or something, but they have tried it out on there.
Yes.
They've been tracking using it's called smart agriculture technology.
Ooh, nothing like a smart farm,
Well,
is there?
and when you look at what's going on with the farmers in Europe who've got some bollocks and are actually doing something about it, the Dutch farmers, farming is being attacked at the moment. It's being targeted at the moment because they want to control food production. They want to control all the farmers and the farming and the cattle and the sheep. It'll be everything, won't it?
Yeah.
And as we are their cattle, or they think we are their cattle,
yeah, that's how they
then I
describe
expect
us.
that those who have been chipped inadvertently will also be part of that. So it says with the cows that it does soil monitoring. I mean, how can they monitor the soil? I don't understand. Asset tracking.
So that's the value of the cows, how much energy they're using, how much they're...
Smart irrigation.
So that's their watering.
Water
So they won't have to go out and water the animals. They're
No.
saying that it would track when they're thirsty.
The
levels are low.
Yeah,
and then
put
they'll
more water out.
fill up the troughs.
Um,
Yeah, and then they just said, and much more on the website.
And it's basically AI monitoring of farms. And it also, what you were saying, it looks at how many times they're chewing the cud.
When I looked at this one, so basically there's different ways to track your cows, and it's about their location and their health, and even if they're on heat. So even when they're
tell you
able
when they're fertile.
So basically, you can have it as a collar, an ear, or a leg or tail tag, like a visible tag, or you have this ingestible microchip, which gives farmers the ability to track a cattle's activity levels, health, and other key behaviours like reproduction activity to increase output and overall herd wellness, is what they're saying. So they're saying that the key benefits, so easy animal identification, heat detection for improved contraception rates, including tracking silent heats and to target best time for insemination. What does that say?
Lameness.
Oh,
So if the animal's gone lame.
can you see that how it's written?
Yeah.
Because it's separated up.
Yeah.
There's a tiny
Lameness.
What does that mean? Yeah, lameness. So yeah, lameness detection and general health monitoring to separate and treat sick cows. Calving detection, so the new calf can be entered into the system, and so live births can be monitored. That's nice. It's a nice thought for the future of humanity, isn't it?
It's horrible.
GPS location tracking to monitor herd. Early mastitis detection to lower the risk of milk loss. Integrate with farm database tracking of any medications or treatments and output.
Rumination.
On tracking to see...
Rumination tracking.
On.
Yeah.
I'm so dyslexic. You laugh how I read things. Rumination tracking to see how long they have been eating to monitor health and manage overall herd feed rations. And then to identify animals under heat, cold and stress. So that means it will be tracking the heart rate.
Everything.
Blood pressure.
Blood pressure.
All of it, basically.
Yeah.
So that is kind of the the general thing is how it works on the cows. And then I did see something, but I think I've lost it because I'm.
What was that, Tash?
Is it this one? About the chudding, you know.
How about
that was one of these. I think it was. Is it that one? Is that the one I just looked at? That's the one I just looked at. So it was that one. Yeah, it was this one. So, what's hurting my eyes? Oh, let's have a look at the prices of them actually.
The prices of the
actual buying it. I wonder how much that is. Sorry, I should have done this beforehand. Right.
Oh,
so,
there's that picture of the pill.
Yeah, there it is. There, that's what it is. So e-pills to track health data. So that's what it's like. It's quite big, isn't it?
And if you scroll back through our vids, there's one where we talk about the NHSX.
Yes, it's very similar.
And this is basically the cow's version of NHSX, isn't
in this little bit that I'm reading here, The Modern Farmer, it's saying here that it's similar to the Fitbit for people.
Okay.
So the e-pill, known in livestock parlance, don't know what that means, as a bolus, I don't know what that means, sorry, but I don't, collects body temperature, heart rate, respiration rate, pH levels and other basic health parameters, and then alerts the farmers, and also the vets get the access.
So the vet will get a direct ping
as to
and
what's
there's
going
a cow
on.
In, you know, Somerset.
So that's very much the NHX thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
so
very
that's
similar.
basically tracking us to...
This is the animal version of...
It's probably the test run, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll test it out on them.
I did see somewhere about, but I can't see now because my eyes are just...
But you read it out to me that they can count the amount of chews.
count the amount of basically
chewing.
Which I guess that's just about making them as less and less of an animal, more and more as a
machine.
Commodity.
A machine.
Yeah, and a money-making sort of...
Yeah, commodity.
Commodity, really. Which I think that's probably all we've got, unless...
But what we wanted to do is just make people aware, because these things kind of come in and they're slipped in under the radar, aren't they, Tash?
Yes.
We know there's a lot of people very concerned about all the masts and antennae and what's going on and how much has gone up over the last couple of years when we were, you know, apparently not able to do.
I mean, you had loads come out around you, didn't you?
Oh, it was awful.
Loads like that. When you go from, I don't know if anyone knows, like Torbay, so yeah, you've got like Brixton that goes around to Torquay, and literally, and then whenever we go into Exeter, we see them, don't we, a lot in the middle of roundabouts. Those ones with all the hangy bits,
new ones,
all the bits that hang off. I don't like.
So they're putting up more and more and more and more and more.
And do you know the difference between the earbud ones and the ones that hang? Are the earbuds more like a contained thing? So, say for like a supermarket, they might have an earbud.
Well, the earbud ones have these flat panels on them, don't they?
Oh, so do they open? No.
I feel as if they're passing on signal rather than... I don't know, actually. I'm not technical enough to know, but they're different to the masts, aren't they? I feel like they are...
Because they tend to be like near a supermarket or a small thing of shops.
For their connectivity.
Like their connectivity for 5G.
So, for example, there's one outside that library. That went up recently.
Yes.
The library near the chemist that we served.
And where I live, there aren't any 5G towers. There's one on the way in and there's one on the way out. But down, because we live in a valley anyway, down at the estuary, there aren't any. However, an earbud one has just popped up outside Tesco.
And so that's Tesco's connectivity. So the earbud ones are like, I can't remember the name.
Like a localised. Like a localised, so they can have
a cell, a localised cell
in their supermarket, basically.
And that will be their connectivity, and then that.
And as they grow, they'll all be able to talk to each other.
Exactly.
Type thing.
Yeah, they can all. Yeah. So it's really kind of hideous. Obviously, we've got an interview actually with which we'll put out later this week with it might be out actually because I'm not sure what the order I'm going to do things in, but
is that Cassie and
Catherine and Cassie,
yeah,
about putting out 5G notices. We put a really good one up on our channel on Telegram, so get on there if you want to serve a notice with a lovely freedom of information as well.
And it's interesting to sort of point out that Cassie she was in surveying, and the way that they get you to try and get this information out there is by having an association.
You've got more power.
Yeah, so they have to answer.
Residents association.
So it's just not like me and you sending a thingy one. So the freedoms of information request, in theory, should be a lot more thorough, and they can't, because you're an association and
they have to answer properly.
They have to answer you differently. So that's just for all the people out there who say notices don't do anything, because we've been getting a lot of that recently.
Yes, we have.
You know, I personally don't write notices, but that's my personal choice. That doesn't mean it's right, does it?
But I like them.
Yeah, exactly. So, but just because I don't doesn't mean mine's right.
No,
I don't preach that.
We don't always agree, do we, on things?
But people are so strange, and also it's not fact. My opinion and what I want to do isn't fact, so I wouldn't push that on anyone.
But it's your opinion.
Exactly.
But
people get very
shirty.
Yes, they're sort of doing all that. They're saying that. I think with somebody, didn't they say we were
leading people up
and lying,
leading people up the garden path,
purposely like misleading type sort of. That's how I read it.
Yes.
Which how do I don't know whether these notices have an effect. I have absolutely no idea.
Also, we put lots of stuff out on the channel which give people lots of different options so that they can choose what's right for them. If you're standing in your sovereignty, right?
See, I hate that word.
But
yeah.
If you're standing in your truth, okay, let's say it like that, then everyone's going to have an opinion, but you've got to do what feels right for you.
Exactly, and use it doesn't mean it's right or wrong, because it's not a fact, is it?
No, it's just an option. It's an option that if that works for you, go ahead and do it. If it doesn't, fine.
Exactly, and we're not leading anybody up any garden path. We're giving people options to, and also people are at very different levels of how they see things and different confidence levels of what they feel they can do. And for some people, the notice writing could be a really good step for them.
What I liked was when we were serving them in person, which we did, majority we did in person, was looking into that person's eyes that I was serving to and just connecting with their soul on a soul level, on a you know, human being to human being. I'm serving you this because what you are doing is not right, particularly with like the vaccines with the kids and stuff. So I actually find that very empowering, and I see that having an effect on the person that I'm serving to.
And they might not be aware of that information.
Oftentimes they won't.
And you could be handing information over to them, that including councillors, including MPs, because, you know, we've got different layers here. There are innocents within these awful things.
There are people who are totally unaware.
Totally unaware. Even Freemasonry at a very low level.
Yeah.
You know, there are people that not everybody is in it, like everyone gets a bit over the top with it, and you might just be able to. They might go, I had no idea that 5G did that, or that people were getting ill from 5G, or.
Well, do you remember when we served at Torbay Hospital and they invited us in? We went into we went into an office with them. Now, we went through the evidence pack. They gave us the time.
They gave us the time.
You could see the shock on their faces.
They were like, really?
Because they didn't know any of the evidence that we had, and we left it with them.
And Derriford, actually, the two hospitals
were very nice.
It was the doctor's surgeries that were
doctor's
very
surgeries
bad.
Were awful. Plymouth Police.
And that's, again, a proof. So the doctor's surgeries, do they know?
They know.
Did admin in a hospital, you know, because we spoke to they weren't clinical leads that we spoke to.
No, we spoke to trust managers.
Yeah, so
trust managers. So they're doing the admin side of things. They're not really on the,
they're not clinical,
front line, are they?
They're not clinical.
But and that I've just lost my train of thought there with talking about serving and. Oh yes, what I was going to say about the GP surgeries is they are private companies. They're not part of the NHS. They get paid per injection. So they don't want that. They didn't want us. They called the police out on me, didn't they? Because I'm taking away their business. Yeah, they sent the police around.
I mean, I used to work in a doctor's surgery, and that is true with everything from blood pressure. If you flag up a blood pressure patient, they'll get paid £12.50.
Yeah.
Or what have you.
So it's all about the money, honey. It's all about the money. So
all of it.
So, you know, don't please think of your GPs as being part of the NHS. They're not. They're private businesses.
They're companies. That's why they're partners. That's why you get GP partners. It's because they're partners. They're under the umbrella of the NHS, and they get their funding from the NHS, but through these hoops that they have to jump in to get them. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But so there will be a very interesting 5G video, and the two girls are very knowledgeable, aren't they? And, and I think they've had some success, I believe, as well.
Yeah, they have had some success, but we'll let you see the interview and you can find out all about that. But it's just worth noting that, you know, these lights are kind of going under the radar a little bit. Everyone's focusing on the antenna and the masts. Actually, these lights are...
And they're everywhere. They're outside your bedroom window, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or your kids' bedroom windows. I've got one outside mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mine haven't been changed
yet. They're just weird. Oh, mine are those flat ones.
I've still got old ones.
They've got like a little thing on the top. Yeah. And then
they're
flat.
There's a little transmitter on top.
Yeah, and then they're sort of like flat and very wide. When you look up at them, they're kind of like... They're sinister, actually.
Yeah, they're horrible. All of the equipment's sinister. All of it's sinister.
So if there's any engineers out there listening...
Yes.
Or anyone who can give us any more farmers... anyone who's got any more information on all this, it would be, because that's obviously just a little tip we got, and then we just had a little look to see.
We got a tip off, we've had a dig, but we know there's more information out there. So if you are a farmer and you're involved with this, you can contact us anonymously.
And is there funding for it? Are you getting funded to try it out? Things like that.
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
Paying for it? Or are you paying for this service? I doubt it at the moment.
No, I would think it's government. And if you are using this, has it been forced on you? Or did you want to do this?
And the other thing, which obviously, I don't know if it's so much around here, but where I live, all of the 5G masts are all on farmland. And I'm wondering if there's any farmers out there who know whether you get how much money. I know you do get paid to have it on the land. And whether it's a regular thing, you get contacted by the...
I think it's yearly.
Yeah, but I wonder how many farmers are asked over and over again, would you be willing to have it?
Oh, what? And who've said no?
And like... Are you harassed to do it? Do they
keep
put the money up?
hassling you?
Do they do this? Do they do that? Just interesting if there's anyone out there that
So
knows
if you're a
more.
farmer, please get in touch. All right.
If you're putting pills down your
Are you putting pills in your cows?
and sticking mass on your fields?
Yeah. Are you?
It's not good.
It's not good for the countryside, my love. My lovers.
Lovers.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've probably waffled around that one enough, haven't we, Tash?
Absolute Elmo.
And look out for the interview with Catherine and Cassie about forming your own residents associations, etc.
And I believe they also got an article in a local paper in Somerset as well. Catherine did about 5G.
Yes, we haven't seen the article.
Haven't seen it, but apparently, so that's good as well.
Yes.
Good info.
So and well done to everyone who is still flagging up the 5G thing, because I was well on it, and then the COVID thing hit, and I kind of got sidetracked. But it does still, it's all part of the same thing, isn't it? It all needs to be taken down,
dismantled,
and it needs to be challenged in a lawful manner. So whether you like sending notices like me, or whether you like to
telling everyone to fuck off like me,
like Tash, go for it.
Make your decision.
Yes, and go with it and enjoy it.
Bye guys.
See you later.
Bye.